Welcome everybody, Horseman here, and today I'm bringing to you another Torchlight 3 video. What this video is going to be all about is talking about its final early access iteration. Basically, what you're going to be seeing here is gameplay footage about what the game is going to actually be when it launches officially on October the 13th. Now, what we've got here is that I'm part of early access, therefore I'm getting a bit of a head start, about a week head start. The last and final wipe occurred on October 6th. So what you're seeing here is my actual progress, and I'm pretty excited because it's the first time I've been able to actually do any real progression without the fear of an upcoming wipe. So with that being said, I am a good ways into the game. If you don't want any spoilers whatsoever, you need to click away now because this video is going to take place entirely in Act 3. Alright? Because I have put a lot of footage on Act 1s and 2. And so this one is going to be primarily Act 3. Alright, here we go. Alright, so what you're going to see is that I did decide to go with the Railmaster. And I went with my first iteration with him, named him Sid. My owl's name was Bubo. And I also ended up going with Bane, which was very different than everything that I had tested. So after lots of discussions with different people at the in the Discord, they said that this was probably one of the better ones to go with due to the minion damage that is added. So that's why I ended up going with Bane. Alright, so the gameplay takes us starting off at Echo Landing, which is going to be the hub for Act 3. Again, if you don't want anything whatsoever, I know some of my videos have brought me here a little bit, but I'm going to be playing for a while just in Act 3. Before getting real meaty into this, I want to talk about my actual build. So this build was provided to me in Discord because I had some questions about what was going to be great for endgame content, great for minion damage, great for AoE. I had been going Flaming Destroyer for so long, and I really wanted to try something else. So I was told that, Bane would probably be a better choice to go after. So that's what I'm doing here. And the of all the different abilities that I had tested, I was very surprised to see that I ended up going something completely different than what I had always been testing throughout this entire time. I always thought that the first tier of abilities was going to be something that was that we were going to absolutely need, and that ended up not being the case. So for my Railmaster type abilities and my conductor abilities, again, besides the flame car and the shotgun car, I ended up going in a route that I very much did not think that I was going to end up going in. So, and you can see here, I'm not dumping any points into my actual build train ability. I'm not going to add anything, and I can see why people usually put 4 points in there just to get that second tier bonus, but I have a hard time putting points in there. If I have some left over, then I'll put them there then, but until then, probably not yet. Otherwise, just like in previous builds, I'm going to be really focusing on that shotgun car and on the flame car. And believe me, these things hit hard, especially when you get them tier 3 bonuses and you get some legendaries that abilities that can also back them up. Both of those things combined, like on their own, they're really strong, but both of those combined, the tier 3 and the legendary capabilities, whew, man, it's a force to be reckoned with, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The miasma and this energizer. So the energizer is going to fill up my relic energy. The miasma is going to spend it constantly, and it's going to give me an aura as well as spawning spiders, but it's also going to give my minions 100% extra damage, which includes those little spiderlings as well as the train itself. So when activated, I'm doing a ton of damage. And again, this is going to be one of those things that you're going to see here very shortly. So this is the reason why this was chosen. And furthermore, there's also going to be another ability just right below Miasma. Poison Nova is going to be that defensive capability that I'm using, but it also does a fair amount of DPS as well. It'll do an AoE damage, sending bolts out in all directions, and it's actually quite nice. Spread of Death is going to affect those missiles directly, adding damage bonuses and such. So that's what we have to work with here. For my Railmaster abilities, I'm going to start off using Blasting Cap, which is also going to be doing damage and providing a vulnerability on my enemies. Hammer Spin is going to be my movement ability that also does a decent amount of damage. And then, of course, having the tier bonus, more movement speed after use, helps out quite a bit as well. And lastly, I also took Lantern Flash. So Lantern Flash is going to be putting a pretty heavy dot on the enemy, and it also can blind them for a little bit of a period of time. So it doubles as a bit of a defensive capability as well. And again, this is not something that I used a lot during test. I did try it out a little bit, but I wasn't all that entirely pleased. But I do think it got a bit of a buff. In my Legendarium, I'm using the Centrifugal Demolisher in order to add some extra bonuses to my Hammer Spin. That includes not only dumping more points into it, but also gives me more damage and cools it down faster. My Shotgun Shield. This is basically going to allow every time that I use the active skill to be a shot that as if I had full endurance without actually using the endurance, which is really good because it's extra damage. It's not utilizing it that endurance for something else that I could use it for, like my Blasting Cap or my Lantern Flash. So honestly, that's fantastic. Alright, so again, last chance for no spoilers. Act 3 takes us to Econoc Mountains, which pits us up against the Voltura, the Netherrim, as well as some of these purple goblins. And let's get to it. Come on. Okay, so pretty much from here on out, it's going to be about an hour or so worth of just unadulterated gameplay. You can see different aspects of the game, which will include Phase Beasts. It's going to include Act 3 content. It's going to include bosses. It's going to include just utterly destroying the bad guys that I come across here. So, you know, I highly encourage you stick around, check it out, especially if you're on the fence on whether or not that this is something that you're going to be interested in. The big caveat that you're seeing here is that, especially when it comes to monster density, is that this is on the hardest difficulty. It's on Ridiculous. And with Ridiculous, you get, increased amount of monster density. You also get larger health pools, and that's really going to be the primary factor of what's making this more difficult. Not so much that they're doing more damage to you, but they are going to be HP sponges, especially in the beginning. So if you decide to get this and you start off in a Ridiculous mode, you're just like, oh my god, this is slow, this is cumbersome, just stick with it. I promise you, it does get better. That's one of the things that I've noticed in ARPGs just in general, is that it's very hard to get started because the lack of abilities really makes the beginning very, very slow and kind of not fun. And this game is no different. Developers did also finally give us a bit of an incentive to start playing on Ridiculous mode as well. And that is, we actually get gear bonuses. Now, unfortunately, it is not gear quality. It is gear quantity. And right now, the gear quality is not that great. So during the test, you may have noticed that I was getting legendaries left and right. Full set, we're talking the entire time. I didn't even look at greens and blues. And whereas I did feel that it needed some type of adjustment so that way they didn't drop so often. I mean, again, at level, I think level 15, I had an almost entire set of legendaries. I didn't feel that it needed to be nerfed to this degree. I mean, in my entire playthrough, I've only had 2, maybe 3 legendaries actually drop. All the legendaries that you see that I have equipped come from legendary bundles that you get from contract rewards. Contract rewards, as discussed before, are something that you gain from defeating bosses, completing quests, and going through the map works. Basically, it's just like a purple glowy currency that drops after defeating special monsters and doing quests and stuff like that. And it adds up, and that's how you get fort decorations, that's how you get materials, that's how you get some gold boxes, and most importantly, it's also how you get legendary bundles. And these legendary bundles, it's funny they call it a bundle, meaning you think that you get more than one, but no, it's just a bag with one legendary in it, one random legendary in it. So the thing that we're doing right now, and when I say we, I mean the player community, especially with how terrible the drop rates are on legendaries, we're saving these for level 60 endgame content. And I started really late. I didn't even think about doing that because to me the concept of having some legendaries equipped, also having some of these legendaries in my legendarium, was more important than waiting till level 60. And I got lucky. I got a lot of the things that I already wanted already in my legendarium. So, you know, it worked out. But now I'm saving them. I'm saving all these bags for when I get to level 60. It's going to be painful. But I do promise that I will end up doing a video just on opening all those legendary bags. So I'm hoping to get quite a few. I've already gone through all 3 of the contracts to the point where it's on repeat for the last 10 levels, and every 10 levels I get 1 legendary bag. So I'm hoping that by the time I do get to level 60, I'm gonna have a ton of these things. And even though I'm level 40 by the time that this video's recording was ended, that doesn't mean I'm only going to get 20 bags. I'm going to be getting a lot more than that. So it will be fun to go in there and just open all of these and see just exactly how well geared I end up getting.
You have gained a level.
So take note on just how long it took me to kill that unique baddie, okay? Because it will change very dramatically later on. Can't wait to show you. And that there would be just one such example of how quickly these baddies can go down. So again, and this is before I got the big bonus to my flame car, so it just gets better.
It's trapped. is running away.
And that would be a typical boss fight. Of course, act bosses are definitely much stronger than that, but believe me, it gets better. Alright, since I have to go back to the fort, it's a good time to show you what I did with the place. So with the wipe, of course, my fort went bye-bye too. So I decided to remake the place a little bit more, I guess, friendly. I don't know. But this is what I got so far. So I've got a main hearth room that's going to have all of the character stations where I can go and respec if I wanted to. It's got the old reliquary there. It's got my stash. It's even got a training dummy over there in the corner. All right. And then I have my more industrial area. And eventually it's going to be all leading to Fazir's dungeon. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I plan on putting that up there in the corner with the tree. So I really like what I've done with it so far. Let me know what you think. So I had been informed that if you spend more than 5 minutes away from any map, the map will reset, and therefore you have to go back in and re-clear things, which I think is absolute garbage, okay? It is something that genuinely makes me grumpy. So I ended up going away for dinner for a little bit, and of course came back and the boss is back. So let's go ahead and tear it apart real quick. Alright, so you'll notice that a portal suddenly opened up. That is what's called a phase portal. They drop from beasts called phase beasts, and they're just purple hounds that run around much like a treasure goblin in Diablo 3, but except when they die, they don't drop any loot. They just drop a portal which takes you very specifically to a random boss that you've encountered up to this point. So once I kind of figured this mess out, we're going to jump right on in. Again, if you don't want any spoilers, yes, I'm going to be continuing to say this, look away, because this is one of the bosses that is part of the story, as all of these bosses are.
You can't use that skill. Your health is low.
Once again, Mother was right. The Hybrids seem to be mesmerized by the corrupted ember. It's like they want to protect it, like it's sacred to them. My pet charger bug I've taken to calling Krunk should work as a guard dog to protect the heart of the corrupted ember.
Since we're on the topic of phase beasts, here it is. You can see it right there, little purple hound, and we just kill it, and it'll eventually drop a portal. Okay, so one thing to note here is that this is an actual act boss. An act boss is part of the phase beast boss loot table, I guess. So if you don't want to know what any of the act bosses are going to be like, turn away, turn away. Otherwise, I've given you ample time. Let's go do this.
Can you handle this? Dodge this!
You can't cast that.
Too slow. Too slow.
You're hurt.
Nice try. Can you handle this? Get back. Let's make it interesting. There. Nice try.
Death is upon you.
Not today. Yes, that's it. More. Let's make it interesting.
Alright, so for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and play the game. You're going to see me going through menus, you're going to see me doing phase bosses, you're going to be seeing me do all kinds of different things. And I do hope that you enjoy this video. I hope you get a really good idea of what this game is going to look like, more towards endgame. Not quite endgame, but more towards it. So that way, I mean, you've already seen many videos of me just starting off, only about halfway there. But you hadn't really seen me get too much into Act 3 or even much beyond that. I mean, I did have a brief moment where I was testing out the endgame content, and that was all fine and good. But this is going to give you a better idea as to what to expect for later on, what builds are going to look like, and things like that. So, alright, if you enjoyed this video, I do appreciate you watching, and I do want to say that there's going to be more videos like this, probably with better narration. So I found out after the fact that my microphone was off. Yay! When I made this video. So I hate doing the narration after the fact, especially since I had so much better things to say the first go around. Anyway, so do give it a like if you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you want to know more about something, please post that in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to explore what it is you're looking for, or get you the answer in some other way. I'm very responsive on my comments, unless you're negative. I don't like negative people. All right, so I will talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of this video. Horseman out.
Gravely wounded. back here.
I see any of you clowns try to sit in my chair, it'll be the last place you sit. That throne is just my size, and it helps with my bad back. Don't hate the chief, hate the player.
You have completed a quest. A new quest.
Excellent work. This codex rubbing should make the translation go quickly. These tomes describe a gateway hidden atop the mountain. It's called the Astral Door, and according to this, it leads directly to the heart of Novastrea, the Clockwork Core. It would be cataclysmic if the Netherim gained access to the core. Head to the Machineworks and take the service elevator to the summit. Make haste. I'm learning much with this codex impression. For example, this mountain province manufactured dwarven automata for their entire empire. From small scouts to giant sentries, many of them were built right here. The fact that some still function is a testament to dwarven craftsmanship.
Good luck out there.
That spell can't be cast. Your pack is too heavy. Can't cast that here. It's alive. You can't cast that here.